Well, greetings, Blade Gang. Guess what? It's off-grid knives time again. And as you can clearly see, we have a new one from the Off-Grid Knife Company. They offer lots of models these days. I mean, look at this. And you can check them out on this channel because those videos are up there. You also get a couple of really nice patches. I like their logo with those multiple spikes and stars. And here it is. Let's make some room and check it out. There you go. This particular one, the Stinger, I'm sorry, it's not the Stinger, the Viper V2. I erroneously called it the Viper XL because it is larger than the original Viper. You've got a gray wash blade on this one. It does come in black G10 as well. We have a really heavily, nicely textured, but won't chew up your fingers, G10 texture on the handle. Desert tan, really nice match for the gray. Stone wash, and upgrade from the original. It is not D2, it is 154 cm crucible. Well, yeah, it's a crucible steel by that company. This is something really exceptional. This jimping is twofold. We have the decorative notched jimping on the sides that you saw on the original and on some of their other models. But the plus factor is you have useful file-like jimping on the top of the spine. So that is definitely a no-slip situation. And when that thumb is locked there and the index finger is locked there, you have a very positive grip. We got to come back out a little bit. I just realized I'm kind of tight on the seam. Oh. Don't want to show that yet. Surprise, surprise. All right, quick measurements and then a compare with the original. By the way, off-grid knives are made by the Best Tech Knife Company. And you know Best Tech does a really nice job building knives. Nice engineering, nice quality. Overall length on this knife, which grew, is, we call it 8.4 inches. And I've got a blade, we're going to call it 3 3/4, just a little shy of that. And pretty substantial thicknesses. Let's go millimeters on the blade first. 3.9, thicker than I thought. I think because of that chamfer, it looked narrower, but almost a 4 millimeter blade stock, which ends up being 0.15 inches, and a handle that's not too thick, well, 0.59. If you got to have a ½ inch, well, then you're going to be disappointed, but you got to have something to hold on to if you're going to work with this knife. Action, by the way, is pretty close to being dropped shut. The thing with off-grid knives is you open and close them 10, 15, 20 times, and they're just smooth as silk. And yes, this knife is on bearings. And let's see what it weighs. It does have some weight relieving, I noticed. But it's not particularly light. It's 5.75 ounces. 5 3/4 ounces. Let's check that weight relieving. I think you can see it without my flashlight, but let me put the flashlight in there anyway. Yeah, they got some pretty good size millwork on the inside. Is it on both sides? No, it's only on the show side of the knife. 3 big circles. So that definitely lightens it up. It's not a 6-ounce knife after all. It does not feel heavy in the hand. When it's closed, obviously, because you got the blade and the handle together, it feels a little heavier. Got a beautiful deep carry clip, which is the same clip they use on all of their knives, with the clip embedded, inletted below the surface, and flat-headed screws, and there's 3 of them. So you've got a very secure fit of that clip, and it's ambidextrous. There's 2 screws there holding the plate on, but there's a 3rd one hidden under the plate. So same thing on the left side as the right side of the knife. And it is flush pretty much with the very end of the handle. Being short, it goes in and out of the pocket with not too much drag. You got a little bit of drag on this texture, however. But let's, while we've got it closed here, take another look at that really nice job they did on the jimping. Well, let's bring out the original. That's the father, this is the son, I suppose, although the father doesn't come after the son, I don't think. It'd be kind of difficult. Here is the Viper, and you can see, I'm going to compare in a minute, it's got the same jimping on the side, a much shorter blade, just pretty much enough for my hand. Got the same style clip. This one happens to be in black. I don't think they made it in the desert tan with the gray wash. And notice that the tips are different. So here we have more of a faceted chisel point tanto with a little bit of roundness to the front grind. And here we have just an abrupt, there we go, an abrupt transition on these 2 facets. And they're both flat. This is kind of messing up my focus. And the front is clipped a little bit more. This is clipped, but not quite as long a clip. Essentially what this gives us is a piercing spear point. You will have no problems jabbing into stuff with this knife. And look at the thickness that they maintain. That's admirable, because many knives will forego that strength for maybe some fancier grinds, but you know, to me, this is fancy enough. Big solid knife, about 1 inch left over. It's not XL. I erroneously called it an XL when I posted on Instagram. So I changed it, but I couldn't change it in the picture because it was sort of baked in. But I redid the thumbnail for this exercise. Here is a similarly colored knife, the Stinger XL. And here's where you can see that the XL knives are indeed XL. Even though this is a 3 3/4 inch blade, this is a full 4-inch blade. Let's check that. Yeah, full 4-inch blade. That 1/4 of an inch makes a huge difference. And it's a much taller blade. Personally, I prefer the way that this handles. It's the perfect size. 3 3/4 is right up my alley. Not that I shy away from 4-inch plus blades, which I love. I got a lot of Max Ace and larger blades that are well over, even of course cold steel, well over 4 inches. But this just has a really nice fit. They cut out perhaps a little bit more drastically on the Stinger, simply because you've got a taller handle and more to hold on to. And looking at that Stinger, yeah, it's about the same thickness. They don't vary that. Nice muted logo on both of them. Here they put it on the top grind. Here they put it on the bottom grind. There is no top grind. And let's do some other comparisons. One more at least. Here is the Enforcer XL by Off Grid. This has the Red Dawn G10 handles, so those streaks of red in the black. And they're flat and they are super heavily textured. I think I prefer the modest texturing by comparison that they put on the Viper V2. But you're going to get the same size comparison here. Of course, this has the built-in, well, it's built in, but it's removable glass breaker. A lot of people don't like that. It sort of really sticks way to heck out there. But you can unscrew that pretty easily and get rid of it, so you don't have to worry about having it or not. A little different clip on the Enforcer than on the similarly sized Stinger. I kind of like these clips a little better. They're slightly shorter, and I like the contour a little better. They both stand up relatively high, so you've got room to clear the thick jeans pockets. Let's look at all of these for size comparison. And I'm going to need to back out once again. There we go. So the original Viper, the Viper V2, the Stinger XL, let's line up the pommels, and the Enforcer XL. Very large knives, medium large knife, small knife. It's about a 3 1/4 inch blade on the original Viper. This is still nice if you want a pocketable, small, EDC-friendly knife. However, I really don't think that the V2 is so large that you're going to have any trouble pocketing that. These guys, well, they're on the borderline. They're still not overly sinker-like heavy, but if you want a larger working knife, then, you know, maybe that's the way to go for you. Same thing here with the Enforcer XL. What you get, here's the box again, is a very nice box with a dense foam cutout, a little bit of a shiny plastic underneath there, and the knife fits right in there perfectly. Magnetic flap, really nice presentation job. And as I say, you get their full color catalog with all their knives, and you get a couple of stickers. For my final comparison, out of the way, you guys, there is the Griptilian by Benchmade, and you're going to see that this is a longer knife by about 3/4 of an inch over the Griptilian, and we can see that the blade edges it out by about maybe a 1/2 inch or so. Griptilian being an axis lock, and the Viper V2 being a liner lock. Got a pretty good thick liner too, so the engagement is positive. You can see it's got some good robustness there. It's scalloped out, chamfered here. Easy access, no problem whatsoever. And as I said, very smooth, and it's getting smoother with every opening and closing. Well, let me know what you think. I think it's a good deal for this one. I think I picked up for about $89. I think they were temporarily on sale. They may go back up to $100, but a very, very good deal for 154 CM and a really tough knife. One thing about off-grid is they aren't wimpy knives. They are really built. So that's the Stinger, not the Stinger, that's the Viper, the Stinger, the Enforcer. That's the Viper V2. Highly recommended. Great defense knife, EDC knife, what have you. I think there's a lot of potential here. And I think it's going to be a great seller for off-grid. Well, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. And I'll be back soon.